Okay, when they actually say use a calculator to find the value, that means now they want to get an approximate value with the calculator. And you got your three friendly sine, cosine, tangent trig functions on your calculator, but they don't have the secant, cosecant, cotangent. So I really wanted to focus on those in these example problems, in the reciprocal functions. Okay, and on the calculator you have the reciprocal button. Let me just do a little bit of copy and paste here. That button right there, right down the left-hand column, x to the negative 1 power, that's the reciprocating button. That reciprocates things to the negative first power. A lot of people mistake this. Let me just show you real quick and I'll zoom in on it. They see sine negative 1, cosine negative 1, tan negative 1. They think negative 1 means reciprocal, so that gets us secant, cosecant, cotangent. But that's actually inverse sine, inverse cosine. That finds us the angle that creates the sine value or cosine, right? So we've already seen those before. So the reciprocal button's the magic on this. That's what we're going to use. And to do this, secant of 5.9 degrees, first off, identify the type of angle it is. It's in degrees. So I'm going to go to my mode button here and make sure I'm in degrees, not radians. Alright? Anytime you're going to use your calculator and you're going to apply the sine, cosine, or tangent button, which we will do in this case, you need to make sure you're in the right mode. If you're in the wrong mode, you can go to your angle menu and just choose degrees, or choose radians, and you can directly do that. So if I'm in radians and I say 5.9 and put a degree symbol on it, it knows to do degrees. If I'm in degrees and it says pi over 3 radians, I put a little r next to it, it knows it's radians. I think it's easier to just change the mode personally, but just know that's an option also. But secant is the reciprocal what? Cosine. Cosine, very good. So remember that we have sine and cosecant, cosine and secant, tangent and cotangent. Those are the reciprocal functions, right, of each other. That's something you want to commit to memory also as quickly as possible if you ever never gotten there. So cosine and secant are reciprocal functions. So when I see secant of 5.9, the way I type this in my calculator is I type in cosine of 5.9, right, in parentheses, and then I hit my magical reciprocal button. The other way of doing it is to type in 1 divided by cosine 5.9. It's the same thing, but I prefer the reciprocal button. So cosine 5.9 in parentheses. Make sure the in parentheses occurs. That's telling your calculator, I'm done doing the trig function. Now I'm going to hit the reciprocal button. So I actually want the secant instead of the cosine. Hit enter, and I get 1.0053. Up to 4 decimal points. 1.0053232539. Fourth decimal place is here. The fifth decimal place is a 2, so we round it just by chopping off. Okay. Suppose it said secant squared of 5.9, just for the sake of argument. Secant squared of 5.9, we're going to do cosine 5.9 in parentheses, caret negative 2. Cube negative third. The secant, the negative power, is creating the reciprocal, and then the power itself is what it. So that'd be cosine or secant squared, 1.0107. So that happens quite often where you have to do a trig function to a power for secant, cosecant, cotangent, the negative power using the proper reciprocal function.